You're tuned into Inside Lowell. Inside Lowell podcast brought to you in part by Washington Savings Bank, serving the greater Lowell community for over 130 years. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. Unicare, offering a variety of plans for people insured under the GIC. At Unicare, your health is their top priority. Boston North Company, offering a wide variety of business solutions to help restaurant and retail clients save money. Boston North. Mahoney Oil Company, providing warmth and protection to families in Greater Lowell and Southern New Hampshire since 1925. That's Mahoney Oil. Francis E. Preventia Insurance. For auto, home, business, and life, trust the agency Greater Lowell has counted on for more than 40 years. Francis E. Preventia Insurance. GoPuff, a grocery store right at your fingertips. Use the code Lowell20 to receive $20 off your first order of $21, plus free delivery. Download the GoPuff app or visit gopuff.com today. And by the Massachusetts Pirates, bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to the Tsonga Center in Lowell. Get your tickets today by visiting masspiratesfootball.com. And now, time for another Inside Lowell podcast. Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place.
Welcome to the Grapefully Yours Wine Podcast. My name is Jim Campanini. I'm the co-host of the show, and I'm here with my other co-host, the Wine Butler Mike Pigeon. You got my Wine Novice shirt on.
There you go.
Hey, very nice.
Welcome back from Florida.
Did you miss me?
Well, I know you knew things were great in Lowell, and you'd be back.
Beautiful. Well, this Inside Lowell podcast is coming to you from WellPoint Studios, our new sponsor. Unicare is now WellPoint. New name, same commitment to Massachusetts. At WellPoint, your whole health is their point. That's good, huh?
This is a good
Well,
catch.
Teddy Panos, our producer, he's doing a hell of a job.
We're cooking. We're cooking.
I'm sorry.
We're drinking. We're not cooking.
Yeah, I know.
Drinking.
So, it was an interesting month in Florida, or Anna Maria Island, which is off the coast, the west coast, in between St. Petersburg and Siesta Key. It was a little cooler this year than prior years. Windy.
So you were able to stay with the red wines as opposed to 80 degrees where you might get off of them.
The funny thing is, I mean, you get into Florida, you get off that plane, and I compare it to that first time of the season when you walk into Fenway Park, you come up the ramp, and you see that emerald green in the outfield, and your heart starts thumping, You get excited. Well, you know, I had long sleeve shirt on, a jacket. I land in Tampa, and off, you know, and then you get into that airport, and boom, it's just, you go to the rental place to get the car, and everything is bright, the sunshine, the sky is blue, the grass is turning green, you know, and everybody's got short sleeve shirts on, you know, and I said, oh man, and then you start taking everything off, and it just hits you, and so you drink cocktails, you know, the women do that. My you know, the wine goddess, she loves Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio, and so I couldn't wait, you know, to get to the tiki bar where we are, you know, and maybe have something. But I drink a lot of margaritas, and we did drink some good red wine at the restaurants. It was a very, very interesting wine lists. And we went to a couple of Italian restaurants, and they were very diverse. I was very surprised how good their selections were from, and they didn't really top it off with high premium wines. There might have been one or two on their menu. So they knew their clientele. Like the most expensive bottle at one restaurant, which was a really nice restaurant, $106. It was for a Primitivo from Puglia, Italy, and I looked it up later, did some research. It sold for about $46, so they were getting double the price, Everything in Florida with food prices, as everywhere else, very expensive.
Because where you were, they're mostly small restaurants, so you can't have a huge wine list to start with. But they, it's thorough. There was enough to keep.
Yeah, this was in downtown Sarasota, La Mucca Ballerina. We had a feast. The Dancing Cow. Chef Mario is from Rome. He owns a restaurant in Rome, and he runs the restaurant with his wife and three daughters. Okay, and the food is very authentic. He does a great job. But he had a couple of Super Tuscans. They were priced. One was $35, the other $45, and it was so it was very, very. I thought it was very well priced. The value on the wines are good. We had three of those bottles. We had the expensive one, which I really enjoyed, and then the other two were good. I mean, they were good. But, the seafood restaurants, you go to the waterfront, that's a restaurant on the island and stuff. They have Josh, La Crema, and champagnes and stuff. Like for Valentine's Day, we went to the Beachfront Bistro. And it's an interesting restaurant. It's down near Coquina Beach in Bradenton. And right across from the ocean. So you're in the second floor, glass windows, you can see the sunset right across. But the motif for the restaurant is the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra. Oh, yeah. They got photos of Frank Sinatra, Peter Lawford, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, all along the walls, and Marilyn Monroe. They got these huge portraits. 3 or 4 of Marilyn Monroe. What a beautiful woman, And the menu has got sayings from the Rat Pack, Marilyn Monroe, And so I had a Rat Pack Manhattan, bourbon and stuff, and the cherries. So you get into that mood.
Florida living. Good for you.
Yeah, and it was nice. And then the tiki bars, outside. Like I said, it was windy, but the sun was out, and the thing with that wind, at the beginning of the month, it was a cool wind, so you could feel it. And then at the end of the month, it started creeping up to the 70-degree level, and that wind was mild. It was nice. It was refreshing,
We're doing all those things. It's a wonder you get out on the golf course. Did you get out there?
We did. Yeah, we played golf, and I towards the end there, I was really
you were working
smacking the ball with my new driver and stuff, But it was interesting because wasn't there? Didn't someone file legislation to bring back the happy hours in Massachusetts?
Yes.
Okay. So one thing about Florida is it's the happy hours, and they start at 1.
Probably 10 in the morning down there.
No, 1 o'clock. And you go to these tiki bars, and they had $8 margaritas. The place
great.
that we go to and stuff. And so it was the only thing in this last 2 years of inflation that didn't seem to go up, because the $8 last year, $8 this year. Although they put less tequila in them, because my wife said, "Jim, you're driving. You already had 2." I says, "Yeah, you're right." I said, "Merely there's no tequila in this, as I know, but I only limited myself to 2, and but." You get into that mood where you can have 6. You know what I mean? Sure. But it was funny. You read the local newspapers. It was very, very safe. Yes, there were pedestrian accidents. Okay, but you read the stories. Okay, I hate to say it because I'm an elderly citizen. Older drivers. Okay, older drivers missed the pedal or something. It's sad. But on our island where we live, where we stay, the speed limit, the highest you can go is 25 miles an hour. And there's one road into the island, one road, so you can't go. And the police, local police, all over the place. And then the school zone, which is probably the largest school zone in America, all right, 15 miles an hour. So it's a crawl. You couldn't hit a turtle, and then it's unbelievable. But that's why the island, I mean, it's 17 miles long, 3.5 miles wide. And that's why it's pretty safe. There's a lot of walkers, bike lanes, okay,
sure.
and people who shouldn't be on bikes, okay, riding the bikes.
Back again next year?
I told Mary Lee, I says, I'd like a change of place. There's a great place and everything, but the prices are getting expensive. Yeah. We rent for a month, and from something that we rented, the prices escalated. It's just, I'd like to try something different.
Well, go across the bridge to Drake, and then you can always venture up the Hudson in New Hampshire if you like.
Yeah. There's only one private 9-hole golf course on the island. I've never even seen it, but you have to be a John Astor or a Vanderbilt.
That's why you won't see it.
Right. So we play at Lakewood Ranch a lot with my friends. So we want to get closer to there because it takes 45 minutes to go 17 miles, okay? Because it takes a half an hour just to get off the island. And the bridge, the causeway is a bridge that lets the boats go through. So every morning, if you hit that, and then coming back at night, but it's one of the beauty of the routine of the island and stuff. But after it's gone up once or twice, you don't want to be bothered by it anymore, So, but it was nice to be away. But then, towards the end, you miss your friends, miss your home, So it was a good. Yeah. I've often said I'd like to do 2 months in Florida. I don't know if I could take it. And Mary Lee grew up in Florida. She couldn't wait to get out of it because it was so hot during the summer. She was born in Essex, Connecticut, so she's a New Englander at heart. So, but the food, the fresh fish, the grouper, the mahi, and you can have them in sandwiches. You can have them in salads.
Tacos,
the fish tacos, unbelievable. So I concentrate on what goes, because grouper has an interesting taste. Sometimes they say it doesn't have any taste, but it's a good eating fish. But my sister-in-law Kathy, my brother Johnny's wife, she made at the Ash Wednesday when the Lent began. She made the cod. She bought it at Publix. It made the cod, sprinkled butter, a little lemon, and then put the breadcrumbs on top. And we baked in the oven. Oh man, that was the tastiest fish that she made. All month. And then the tapia. The tapia is a nice fish. And so I was trying it with different, Sauvignon Blanc, a little Chardonnay. Yeah. But you know what went best with it? You like this white wine. What's your favorite white wine?
Chablis.
Okay. Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Grigio. But
and the Santa Margherita Pinot Grigio, which costs about $22 a bottle. It was absolutely fantastic. But I drank a lot of Prosecco.
Yep.
We tried because we did a show from Florida on rosé, so we had a couple of bottles of that, and so it was a fun month.
Good for you.
And my brother John pinched it for you twice.
Very well. I watched his shows. He did very well.
Yeah, and we talked a little about his Zinfandel. Yeah. And right now it's fermenting and aging, and he should be bottling that. He said in probably a month or two and stuff. So he'll have another vintage, which is good.
We'll await it. We'll see how it.
Yeah. So what do I have to catch up on? Anything interesting?
Oh, not really. I don't think you missed much in the month of February.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's good. So in the wine world, what's happening? There's still a lot of consolidation. You reading the Wine Spectator, I get the Newsline Wine Advisor and stuff. And a lot of the bigger companies, are buying out the smaller companies, or like Camus, they're expanding, buying up grape supplies. And the big story out of Washington State, the Chateau Saint Michel, which really, as Chateau Saint Michel in Washington went, so did the state of Washington, because that was the biggest buyer of grapes in the state. I mean, it bought over 100,000 tons of grapes annually from local producers who make grapes. So now, Chateau Saint Michel had some financial difficulties after the pandemic, and there was talk of them going bankrupt. And it's hard to believe that a company like that could go bankrupt. But a new company has purchased it, and they're saying they're downsizing their lines. They have all kinds of different wine lines, but Chateau Saint Michel is the biggest.
Yeah.
And so they're cutting out 40,000 tons of grapes that they purchase from local growers. So there just aren't enough other places to pick up that tab for those grapes. So experts are telling Washington State to plow up your fields and plant different things, different produce and stuff until the market comes back, because no one's buying buy those grapes, whether they're red or white. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens out there.
Speaking of wines, which we do, one thing I don't miss now is, I think it was an experiment not that many years ago. They started, I love bourbon and I love red wine, but they started aging the red wine in bourbon casks. And I never liked that. You know, I tried it. I want a bourbon, I want it, but a red wine that tastes like bourbon a little, I never bought it, and I don't see those on the shelves anymore. I think it ran its course and they ended it.
Yeah. But and yet, you know, I down in Florida, I was at the one of the bars, and we were talking, and this guy said, "Oh, do you like bourbon infused red wine?" And I said, "I tried it. No, I really don't." I said, I love the true expression of the grape. I says, but I can see everybody's palate is different. You know, I love it. He was talking about a couple of wines. I think there was some that we've tried in the past and stuff. But that's fine. Some people enjoy that, but I don't. I just, bourbon is a bourbon. It's like, why would I drink bourbon if you poured wine in it? You know, and so. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Washington. Now, Washington State is just coming off two kind of difficult vintages because of the smoke taint, and also the wildfires, and then some of the weather. But now they're saying the 21 to 22, vintage, really, really remarkable, So I just got mine while I was in Florida. I had to fill out my allocation form for Drew Bledsoe's double back, So that should be arriving, and it's supposed to be exquisite. The people who have tasted it said it's really, really fantastic. And I also buy his second tier wines. He's got the Bledsoe Family Wine. So double back is a different enterprise. He does Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and he does Estate Cabernet Sauvignon, which is the choice select grapes, and he charges more for that. So, but then he's got the family line, he and his wife Maura, and he does a Cabernet Franc, Viognier, Chardonnay. Well, Cabernet Franc now is becoming quite the grape. There are now 21 producers in Washington State. And, Cabernet Franc, that's the foundation of French Bordeaux.
Yeah, I had a Bordeaux the other night, and my makeup was the Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Cabernet Franc.
Right. Yeah. But even in France, they used to use it as the blending grape. There were only few producers who made 100% Cabernet.
Yeah, I never.
And it was always blended with Merlot, Cabernet to make those nice Bordeaux blends. Well, years ago, the pioneers in Washington State, and some of them with French investment, they said, gee, the terroir out here in Washington State, even in Oregon, is conducive to Bordeaux. So they started planting the Cabernet Franc. Now, Drew Bledsoe, I think, planted his vines about 5 years ago. He's only been producing it for about 3 years. So I brought in this beautiful bottle. This was the 21 Cabernet Franc, and it's very limited production, okay? I think it's under 700 cases he makes. Of course, he gets a premium price for it, $70.
Does he? That much for the Franc?
Yeah. I get a discount because I'm an allocation member, and I tell people you should go on and look at these things because you can buy what you want, and you don't have to, it's not forcing you any bottles on you. But this Cabernet Franc, got Vivino rated it highly. Wine enthusiast and stuff. Gave it over 92 points and stuff. So I wanted you to try it because, what's going on with Cabernet Sauvignon and with climate change and things are happening rapidly. They don't know what's going to happen to the California Cabernet. It's going to become more limited because it's just not taking to the heat. But Cabernet Franc is rising because it is a I guess a versatile but durable grape.
I don't think I've ever had a Cabernet Franc just 100%, like that. 100%,
yeah.
never.
But smell. I mean, it's very aromatic,
very beautiful. Yeah.
And if you want blue and black fruits. Like Merlot has nice blue fruit traits, but Cabernet Franc, you get the nice black, the black currant, but also those blueberry, the boysenberry, and then layers of herbal quality, very herbal and a little green leaf and stuff.
Very fruity.
And it's dry.
Dry, yeah, but not enough to pucker you up, but it's dry.
No.
Dry
and it's got that nice. Now this came from my cellar. You can tell it's cool, right? Yeah, I should have brought it upstairs for the night, but it's what a nice drinking wine.
It's a fine temperature.
Yeah. When I checked this morning, it was like 60 degrees.
Well, years ago,
it was 58. 58 degrees.
It tastes warmer than that, but that's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And it grows on it, but there's a nice complexity to it. I think it's very refined. He's doing very well. Josh McDaniel, not the former coach of the Patriots, another one of his friends, who's now in business with Drew. They got the Bledsoe McDaniels operation in Oregon. So all the Pinot Noir and grapes and wines that they make in Oregon are those two together. And then Josh is the main winemaker for Doubleback and the Bledsoe Family Wines. But so their wines, I mean, I met Drew several times. I went out to Washington State. But he just keeps, plugging away and becoming, the wines becoming more impressive. Now, the thing is, the prices keep going up. But that's why he's got that second tier level of wine and stuff. But people should take a look at the, they should go online, look at Bledsoe Family Wine, the website, and Doubleback, and become familiar with it. Because, usually, at the end of the season, the New Hampshire liquor store brings in, some bottles. They bring in his Chardonnay, which is very good. And I tell people, wait till it goes on sale. They regularly get like $45 for it, but wait till it goes on sale, or you can get it at 15% off with a mix and match, and you get your price down to 40 or below, But then he's got a great Viognier, the Bledsoe Cabernet Sauvignon, the Bledsoe family wine, costs like $55, different from his $118 Cabernet Sauvignon. But if you can get a bottle, of this Cabernet Franc, your friends will be amazed by it. And this is something that you can have with big, grilled steaks, game, venison. I mean, the taste, the layers of complexity. It just goes with so many nice foods.
That's the first time I've had a Cabernet Franc without a blend. And I can see why the price is up there a little bit. It's a good wine.
I think it's going to become more and more popular with American consumers because it's got a powerful, robust taste, just like the Cabernet Sauvignon. And as people learn more about it and the role it plays in French wines, now they're producing 100%, which is, is very, very interesting. And Washington State is leading the pack. They're leading the charge. I read recently that there's over 21 producers now of Cabernet Franc. So it's really taken to the soils, the volcanic soils out there.
Is that just this country, 21 producers?
In Washington State.
In Washington State.
There probably some in California, too.
It's quite a few.
You know, probably in the more...
For a grape that isn't that popular yet, I don't think, without being in a blend. That's 21. That's...
Yeah. And in California, it probably does better in the higher elevations where it can be cooled off at night and stuff like that. So that was my surprise for you today. You know, now another wine that I'm trying to get a bottle of that I want to try. I want you to taste is Barua, which I tried in Florida. There was this little Italian wine shop just off the island, a fine wine shop. And we went in there, and it was from Sardinia. Sardinia is the Italian version, okay? And it was from the Isola di Naroghi. This is the southern part of Sardinia, which is the second largest island in the Mediterranean, the first being Sicily. But it's got a thriving wine business, and the sands are all white. It's like all white beach sands. It's amazing that vines even grow, you know, in this sandy soils. And Barua comes from the native grape there, Carignan. You know, so it was absolutely phenomenal. You know,
First time you've had it?
I had it years ago, Vino Italiano.
Yeah.
You know, when he had it in. So I'm trying to get a bottle. We can.
Charles will get it. Charles will get it.
Yeah, Charles will get a Vino
Italiano out there at the Wine Connection. They have so many different.
So I'll have to try to see it. But I did get from Vino Italiano, which we'll talk about because now this is the Easter season, the Lacrima Christi red. We've had the white before, okay? But now I got 2 bottles of the red. So we'll talk about that and its connection to to the Easter season, you know. So we'll do that. So but you like this Cabernet Franc, huh?
Very much so. Yep.
Good.
Yep. It's good wine.
Okay. So well, that's it for now from Well Point Studios, okay? And we'll be back next week. We got flour out of the way, and we'll talk about some more wines, and hopefully I can track down that bottle of Barua because I think that's really fascinating wine. It costs about $60 a bottle, reasonably priced. So,
Vino a vivo.
Yes, may the wine be with you.
I'm empty.